Hey, what's up, man? What's up, bro? Yeah, just chilling. I should be asleep. I mean, literally, it's 3:42 in the morning, but whatever. My sleep schedule's all fucked up. I just spent the last 2 hours looking at game development stuff, so... Oh, that reminds me. Did I update my... I think I did update my Unreal Engine.
What can I help you with?
Hello.
Oh my god,
Safe
click the
travels.
button. Jesus.
How are you? Have a good one. Hey there. See you later. Good day to you. See you around.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Some sloppy ass pulling, wasn't it? Yeah, it has ruined my sleep schedule. It's all messed up, man. It is all messed up.
You know what they say about curiosity. I'll give you more. You know what they say about curiosity. Now to finish the job.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Gets so turned around in here. Isn't there like an item in my inventory? There it is. Very cool. She did it already.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I guess I'll take it. I know it's got intellect on it, but it's better than what I'm wearing. Hey, where'd everybody go? Maybe they were just faster than me. It's been a while since I've done this one.
preserve? Why? There's no truth in it. No, no, no. Only in the taking. I see that now. Finish it. Finish it. Final moment. Dragon. You'll never see daylight again. Life, binder. Preserve me. You need something? See you later. See you around. Good day to you.
What would I want? Intellect. Is this just like worth the most money? Base attack power.
Have a good one. Hey there. Safe travels. Have a good one.
I am having trouble with this cord. Being a real pain in the butt. This mouse cord's being a pain in the ass. Alright.
McGraw.
Yeah. Don't think we need...
For the Horde. Loktar. Strength. Speak, friend. Be safe.
so have my eyes gone missing. Imagining sequences, playing back visions by stereo air and fragmenting emissions. I'm lost and found in the loneliest thing in the shape of a fist that I wish I could bring in this bitter abyss. Is my petrified heart still pounding? Out on the balcony, reaching out to design this epiphany and what the sidewalks will do. And I just, in the process, it's the means to the end. It's the glass bottom vessel and depths it extends to the spans between us. If I could, I'd cut through the cables and cords, but I'd never be able. My knife's at the table with yours. Immortal. Nothing is sacred and nothing is sure anymore, except all that you are and stand for. Guide me toward your portal. Your portal. Your portal. Your portal.
your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
You were screwed.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
You were screwed.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
You were screwed. You were screwed.
Safe travels.
Warm wishes to you. Ionis Haka.
When your day is long and the night is yours alone. When you're sure you've had enough of this life, hang on. Don't let yourself go. 'Cause everybody cries. And everybody hurts sometimes. Sometimes everything is wrong. Now it's time to sing along. When your day is night, hold on. Hold on. You feel like letting
Hands
go.
on.
If you think you've had too much of this life, well, hang on. 'Cause everybody hurts.
Light bless you.
Take comfort in your friends. Everybody hurts. Don't throw your hand. Don't throw
Nah, I haven't heard anything, boss, man. Nothing since the last update. Like the last update was, I mean, it was interesting. I mean, Eridude saying this a significant milestone had been reached. You know, team along with help from other collaborators have managed to build the full complete project app by core on Linux. So I don't know. I mean, is that even a good thing? Okay, we'll find out, man. We shall find out. It's weird that Horner Winter is showing that it needs to be updated. I don't know. You know, it's a good question. Honestly, I just don't think it has because there's not a lot of options for people. I think anybody who's really interested in Classic Plus doesn't have a lot of options. I mean, Turtle WoW, but Turtle WoW's been around for a long time, so really if people want to play Turtle WoW, they probably already have. You know what I mean? So I really don't think it has hurt it. I mean, I'm sure some people have kind of given up, or maybe they're doing something else. But I still think everybody really wants to play Epoch. And again, like I said, I think all the streamers that have streamed Epoch that have got a chance to actually get in there and play the game say that the content that they've added is very well done. And I think that's the key. The key is the quality of the content they've added is good, is high. And I think that's what's going to save them in the long run. If they can, put out something that's stable and can handle, 3,000 to 5,000 connections is all you need. You don't need a lot of connections. In fact, I don't want a lot of connections. I would love to see the servers capped at like 5,000. So. You joined 2 levels. Yeah, I think I'm like level 4 or something. You know what I mean? So, really, level 4 was as high as I was able to get.
Your blood is mine! Aronal Adele! Their fates are yours! Not so embattled. The night.
Hey. Leveling up, you gotta love that, right? Ugh. Oh, nice. Nice to see some blue gear drop once in a while. Hmm.
Dalron, see if you can muster the nerve to join my attack.
By means, don't assess the situation, you half-wit. Just jump into the fray.
Not over. Yes.
Scarvold, you incompetent slug. Return and make yourself useful.
What do we have? I haven't even looked at my gear on this character. We're wearing leather shoulders. Oh, we need to repair our gear, it looks like. Actually, we need a chest plate armor. Plate chest. Wow. Your score is kind of crap. 106. Adamantite breastplate. Here's one, it's 146. Random. 94 gold. Let's buy one of these and see what it is. Man, like, there's too much stuff. Like, this is like Mr. Pandaria. There's like too much. Like, have you guys ever played, like, when you play MMOs, right? Do you ever get to the point, especially in World of Warcraft, where you're just like, this is just too much? There's like too many systems, too much bloat, too much. You know, the game needs to be simplistic. I was actually watching a YouTuber, and I don't know about you guys, but whenever I play an MMO, like, when I look at something super simplistic, a lot of times I really like it. So, like, if I did a search for creating an MMORPG from the ground up, because I'm looking at developing my own game, you know, over the next 10 years. But and so there was this video here.
You can see that everything is synced between the server.
That was basically a single developer. Actually, he's a guy who's made some games on Steam and sold games on Steam. But what I liked about this video was, one thing that was really cool was his pathing, like showing how he did pathing with of the mobs. That was actually quite nice. And where was it? It was just this. Like, you see something like this, which is incredibly simplistic, right? But I mean, you don't need a lot of stuff in an MMO to have the MMO to be really fun and engaging, you know, right? You know, you've got basically just, you know, Goblin Shaman. You get a hunter here with a hunter's pet. And you've got, like, just some action bars with some nice looking, you know, skills. He actually has got this game out, and I think it's out on the Steam store, but you know, this is a solo developer who put this together. I think he did a good job. And if you look at let's see, if you look at his trailer, yeah, so this is basically the game that he came up with. It's basically Pokemon like MMO, Mist Wilds. And you can see nothing super. I'm not super into his art style, but I love how, like, he's got, like, you know, flying mounts, you know, and his little land mount looks pretty cool. Like, actually looks pretty cool. You know, I mean, I think you can make something. You look at, like, World of Warcraft, which the bloat, like, I think the game, you know, the game has so much bloat in it. Like, you look at this, WoW, and there's, to me anyways, it just feels like there's a lot of bloat. You know, especially, like, a lot of it's the interface too. Like, I don't like this interface. Like, when they changed the interface to be more like this as opposed to the original, like, vanilla interface, I don't really care for it. I mean, it's actually, I find it more difficult to find what I'm looking for. Like, why can't I see, like, the level of the items? Like, I have to hover over something, and, you know, it's not like I can't sort by, like, level. Like, how do I sort just by level? I want to see, you know, I'm level 72, and I just want to sort by items that are, like, you know, equipable with me. Now I can do usable. I guess I can do level range, but I would rather just see it. I don't know, whatever. I'm just complaining. You know? But the point is, I think it doesn't take much, I think, to make a game that I think people could be really engaged in. You know, you just have to have good systems. You have to have good, fluid combat systems and good, interesting storyline. And I think that's really missing from MMOs. We don't really have good storylines. We don't have a kind of a clean, fresh world that feels like the focus is more on immersion. I think when you have too many systems and too much stuff, the game starts to feel less like an immersive game. It starts to feel more like a mobile time sink game. You know what I mean? Well, that's just me. That's just me. I need to do something about it. What I need to do is just create my own game. I'm sick of dealing with this shit.
Can I help you?
Sick of waiting for somebody else to create something.
For the Alliance.
So what we got when we leveled to, doesn't tell now, but when we leveled to 72 was, I believe we opened up one of these passives. I don't remember which one. It might have been like improved blood presence. Yeah, I'm tired of that. There are plenty of people out there doing what I want to do. What you need to do is find, like, here's an art, you know, you need to find some good content. Unreal Engine 5 RGB, there's like tons of people doing stuff on Unreal Engine 5 and RPGs. You know, here's another one. I'm not really familiar with Gorky games, but there's tons of YouTube videos out there, which is nice, you know.
Today I will be covering on what my upcoming Unreal Engine 5 RPG tutorial series will consist of. As you have voted, we are making this RPG series, and it will be oriented towards an Assassin's Creed Origins style. Now, of course, that's it.
Not really what I'm looking for though. Build a game, Unreal Engine tutorial, Crystal Clear Gaming Studios.
Howdy folks, and welcome to the much anticipated RPG series preview. So now that we're almost static, it'll also be more what's the word? Mobile during the combat. So in the first one, she would basically just have to pull her sword out standing still. This time she'll be able to be on the go, and she'll have more than one attack this time.
I like Unreal Sensei, he's good. But also, where is Unreal for Unreal Engine? Unreal Engine has some decent videos. I wonder if they have courses. They have Unreal Engine 2, Unreal Engine now live. The interesting thing is there's so much content out there for Unreal. It's just a matter of like finding the right content. You know, you don't want to waste my time going through something that's not going to be efficient. That's my PC case. When you look at this image, see that PC case in this image? That's my PC case. Is your PC good enough for Unreal Engine 5? Yeah, I'm sure it is. Why are Unreal 5's games are breaking PCs? Why do Unreal Engine games all look this way? They do because people are using a lot of in-game. They're using a lot of assets from the store and stuff, and a lot of that built in because a lot of it's free. A lot of stuff's free when you go to Unreal Engine 5. I mean, you go into like Mega Scans. This stuff's free. Like if I go into Mega Scans, for example, let's look for like a grassy pack right here, meadow pack. If I click on this, you know, this is just something that's totally free. So you can go to Quixel Mega Scans. In fact, we should have Quixel built in. I haven't used it in a while. It's been a while since I've used Unreal Engine 5. But let's go to the Quixel scan. And let's say how to access megapixels in Unreal Engine 5.
All right, welcome to
This is a year ago.
another tutorial brought in. It's not a 3D asset. Down here, you might see.
So they're using Quixel Bridge, which I didn't know if Quixel Bridge was still, because I thought that Quixel Bridge is actually integrated into, like if you look here, you look at installed plugins, we have Quixel Bridge already as a plugin. So if we were to launch Unreal Engine 5, I think we can just browse the resources. It may take a while to launch Unreal Engine 5 because I haven't done, this is the newest version. I haven't launched it since I downloaded it. Do you want to allow public and private networks to access this app? I do, actually. So they have some like starter, like, you know, you can start with a blank slate, first person, third person, top down. I definitely don't want to do top down. We definitely want third person. So let's say we start with a game. Let's do a third person game. And we're just going to create this different folder though. Let's go to, actually cancel that. C, documents, no. I'm just going to create a new folder on my C drive for Unreal. We're just going to call it Unreal. Let's just call it Unreal Engine. And in here, I'm just going to create another new folder. We're just going to call it Projects. Okay. Let's create third person. We're going to go to C drive, Unreal Engine, Projects. And we're just going to call this third person test. Yeah, I think this is out of date. Yeah. All right. Manage plugins. Wow, all plugins. There are a lot of plugins. Let's go to. Wow, I'm gonna have to do a guide on just how to use Unreal Engine because I haven't used it in so long. What we're looking for is. A little third person. One thing I always disliked about Unreal Engine's like sample, like third person, is the jumping for some reason is always really floaty. Like, why is it so floaty? Okay. So our view looks. Okay, so we got a character's input level third person. Our blueprints, which are character. So here's our character. We probably have some associated animations, and there's really not any textures associated with them though, but camera, aim, target, third person character, third person aim, events, thumbstick. So there's stuff built in. You're using like a joystick. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing some Unreal development here probably this week. But it's so daunting, like coming in from the ground up, like having to learn Unreal Engines, because I really haven't spent that much time in it. I have used it before, but it's been a long time. But we'll probably so I'm going to be going through YouTube and trying to find a couple good series that we can go to. But we really want to focus. We have to be narrow because there's just so much content out there. So like if you look at, like, I'm going to be retired from work in about 10 years. So my goal is to work on creating my own MMO. And do I have, no, let's see. So where did my plan go? I actually had a plan here. Hold on a second. Huh. That's weird. Well, we'll create a new one. So let us see it. Let's I'm going to be retiring from work in about 10 years. One of my goals for retirement is to create my own MMORPG game. Over the next 10 years, I would like to learn the various tools I need to create an MMORPG. I come from a programming background, primarily C#. For the game engine, I want to use Unreal Engine 5. Can you create me a training plan to cover all the aspects of to learn Unreal Engine 5 and any other tools I need to make my MMORPG. Focus this plan for a beginner. Was never created game in Unreal Engine 5. Game and content should focus on creating a simple prototype. Let's see what it comes up with. I had it create one earlier, and I don't know where it went to. I don't know why I would have lost it. Unless I might have deleted it. I may have deleted it. That's an exciting and ambitious retirement goal, and absolutely achievable with a solid long-term plan. Given your 10-year timeline, your C# background, your focus on creating a third-person MMORPG prototype using Unreal Engine 5. Here's a phased training roadmap to build the necessary skills and development tools in MMO-specific systems. So, foundation. Get comfortable with Unreal Engine 5. So, learn the Unreal Engine 5 basics, learn blueprints, of course. Blueprints, the visual scripting system that it has, start transitioning into C++. Now, Unreal's you can do pretty much almost anything in Unreal Engine's in blueprints. You know, you don't have to necessarily be like a C++ programmer. Of course, it helps. But I do need to start transitioning into C++ as my primary language of choice. Unreal Engine 5's basic UI, blueprint, visual scripting, actor pawn, character player input. Git for version control, which is fine. I already use Git. Unreal Engine for beginners. Oh, this is Epic. Oh, okay. Let's copy. Let's look at Epic's own tutorials. I was wondering if Epic had. So they do have their own stuff, which I'm sure they got quite a bit of content. Understand replication and multiplayer fundamentals. Deeper dive into C++ with Unreal Engine 5. Learn how to structure reusable gameplay systems. That's going to be important. Combat system, melee range. That's super important. Inventory system, of course. This is all good. Unreal motion graphics. Basic UI. Oh, basic UI with Unreal motion graphics. Okay. I've never heard of Unreal motion graphics. Let's take a look. UE5. Motion graphics tutorial. Let's take a look at this real quick. Motion design. The art of game UI. UI menu introduction, 3 minutes. How to create a modular scalable UI system in Unreal Engine.
Tell me, how many times have you tried developing a UI system only to find it getting messy over time? Maybe you end up with a monolithic master widget that touches every part of the codebase, and changing one thing breaks many. Or, if you wanted, let's say, to change the font for all your text in your widgets, you'd have to manually find every text block in a very tedious and error-prone process. Or you don't know what's better for optimization, creating and removing widgets or hiding and showing them. And you are wondering, what are some of the best practices I should apply to develop a modular, scalable, and optimized UI system? Hi, I'm Amr, and for a long while I struggled with that as well. So for the past 3 to 4 weeks, I did some research about the best UI practices from multiple resources, which I'll be linking in the description. To demonstrate the importance of these practices, we're going to take a look at this simple UI system, which is written in 2 ways. One that doesn't follow these practices, and the other does. With each one, we will be showing why the bad practice fails and how the better practice can be a better solution. This video aims to let you know that these practices exist, and when and why you should apply them, not a step-by-step tutorial showing how they are implemented, which we'll be doing in another time. So, without further ado, let's get started. Tip number 1. Create base reusable widgets. Now let's say our UI designer wanted to change the text color in the whole project from white to yellow. To do that, usually we'd have to find every text block in every widget, which can be frustrating, wastes time, and we'll have lots of messes. What we can do instead is create base widgets for our most common widgets, for example, buttons, text blocks, and borders. In this example, I have created this.
Okay, this is basically what he's saying here is just create types of objects that are going to be inherited by others. So basically, you're going to have a button, a base object, and then when you create new buttons, you're basically going to base it off the base object. So when you want to modify the color of your buttons, you're just going to modify the base object's color, and that'll propagate through all the other objects. That's just basic object-oriented design from a UI level. So that's cool. Good to know that it works that way. And then, so we're looking at replication, networking concepts, state machines. Yeah, state machines. Udemy Unreal Multiplayer Mastery. Oh, interesting. I actually have. There is a lot of stuff on Udemy. I actually have a lot of courses I've bought on Udemy through the years, and I've just never completed them. Let's go my learning because I'm lazy. You can see these are the courses that I actually own already. I own 26 courses on Udemy. Yeah, and some good ones. And some of these might be out. The problem with Udemy is now sometimes people create the courses do try to keep them up to date, but game engines advance fairly quickly. So trying to, buy a course, you want to go through it right away because if you wait too long, and then the course might be aimed towards a specific version of Unreal Engine or something, and the course kind of doesn't really make sense anymore. But here's Unreal Engine 5. Now this is Ben Tristram, and I'm a big fan of Ben. He's really good. So let's take a look if he's updated this. It says new Unreal Engine 5. As you know, we've been remastering, updating the majority of this course to Unreal Engine 5. The course content of this course was created in an older version 4.2. That's what I like about Ben and certain people that you can get courses from is they'll try to keep them up to date. And it's mostly you'll need access to given the update content is highly improved in creating. However, if you've taken the original content previously, so Anyway, so let's take a look at the notes here. No notes, overview. You can access the content free. So he's talking about you can still access the old content in the archive. And Sam also is the other guy who works
Hello
on this.
and welcome. I'm so excited that you have decided to join me on this journey down the rabbit hole learning Unreal Engine 5. So what's coming up in this course? Well, in the first section, it's all about setup. This section that you're in currently right now, we're going to be getting the tools you need and making sure that they work before we dive into the real teaching.
Let's
so
go
the next
back
section
to...
is going to be...
Let's look at my courses and let's see which ones are worth going. I mean, obviously that one's really good, and we'll definitely want to go through that. We've got Unity. We don't care about Unity anymore. In fact, I probably would prefer to just archive this. Ultimate Guide to Game Development with Unity. No, we're not doing Unity. These are really old. Blender Character Creator, that's fine. Blender .NET. Oh, I have 36% through that course. Unreal Engine 5, this is the one that so far is the only one that I really am super interested in going through. Advanced AI, Deep Reinforcement Learning. Actually, that Ultimate Drawing course was good. Complete Blender Creator. And this one, we can archive this one. We're not going to be doing World Machine. And Subdivision Surface Modeling. That's pretty cool, actually. And this is Unreal Engine 4 Multiplayer Mastery. I wonder... if we're going to update this to Unreal Engine 5. Let's go to Game Dev TV. And we'll see what courses they have. Bestseller. Yeah. This is another good, Blender animation and rigging, obviously, would be good if you want to do your models, character models in Blender. Also, the Blender animation artists. I would think, I mean, honestly, for my game, what I would like to do, as far as working on my game, is I would like to create a lot of the assets in Blender and then just pull them into Unreal Engine 5. Of course, it's going to be more time consuming to do that as opposed to just using pre-created assets, but I still think it would be the best way to go to create a more, custom, type of game that's going to feel more like it's not going to look like every other Unreal Engine 5 game. It'll look more specific to me, This is Blender 3.1. No, and I actually purchased this course. Oh, I've already got this one. So we definitely need to do this course. Oh, and this is Grant.
To make beautiful environments suitable for animation.
Grant is my probably one of my all-time favorite YouTubers.
Games or just a nice portfolio piece, well, this is the course for you. In this course, you can follow along with me making the wonderful environment you can see here. The assets we make are game ready and modular, so you can build lots of different scenes by reusing the different pieces. This course is aimed at complete beginners, so we'll start out with the basics of the interface and build upon your skills very methodically. We'll start off by building a fun and simple modular castle, building up to adding textures to create a spooky corridor scene, then jumping into our main scene, learning how to create modular pieces for a realistic environment, including rocks, trees, as well as pieces to make this medieval house. I'll go through the different techniques of building assets from the simplest and quickest ways to very detailed high-end game assets. So in creating the different assets, we use different techniques so you can assess and clearly see the advantages and disadvantages of each technique. By the end of the course, you'll have lots of modules that you can use to create your own environment that are suitable for game engines, and you'll be able to piece them together to build great environments like this. If you don't know me, I'm Grant and I've been using Blender for a long time now for freelance projects.
Hey Christian, what's up? Yeah, I've been toying around with the idea of making my own game for years, and I've played around with game engines on and off, and I've played around with Blender on and off throughout the years, but I've never spent enough time on it to really be any good at it, just because I love video games, so the problem for me usually has been that I want to play games more than I want to develop them. I want to develop them, but there's always a game that I want to play, and I've always been very much into MMOs, and as you know, MMOs take a lot of time, so But now I've gotten to the point where there aren't really any MMOs out there that I want to play right now, and I've kind of gotten bored of any version of retail World of Warcraft, and it's always been my goal to create my own game, to create my own like MMO, and something that I always thought was kind of out of the realm of possibility as a single developer, but now with AI and with the tools and stuff, it's getting easier and easier for people to actually do this stuff, and I'm going to retire from my job probably in about 10 years. So my goal is over the next 10 years, as I'm working towards my retirement, to learn Unreal Engine, to learn Blender, and to just get better at some of these tools and to start kind of, because I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but, over the next 10 years, obviously I have a lot of time. So I can just slowly take my time to learning the tools, getting better. And then when I retire, of course, who knows, maybe I'll have a game developed before then, but the goal is that when I retire, that's going to be one of my biggest hobbies. One of my biggest hobbies is going to be game development. Is going to be working on games and also working on, creating kind of like my MMO the way I would like it to be. Because I think that over the next 10 years, AI is going to continue to improve. The development tools, the game engine tools are going to continue to improve. So it's only going to become easier and easier over the next 10 years for people to make games. And there's so many resources out there. If you go to YouTube and just do a search for anything related to, creating games in Unreal Engine 5, I mean, there's so much content. So, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Grant Abbott. I've been following him for a very long time. I think back when he was only had about 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, and now I think he's got about 500,000. And I always wanted to you can create when you approach like creating a game in Unreal Engine 5, you could just use already created assets. I mean, you can go. There's even plenty of free assets out there. Like I can go into Unreal Engine here, and if we go into, let's see, where's the. Like if I go into the library here, right? Like there's tons of free stuff that Unreal gives you. Like there's the Megascans library, so all the textures and stuff. But they even gave out like a lot of the Paragon. There was a Paragon which was like in a MOBA that they were creating. They gave out all the resources for the MOBA. So I mean, there's tons of like really high quality characters, like this one here from Paragon Murdoch, that you can just pull these assets for free right into your game. But my point is, there's tons of if you want, like, there's different ways to approach developing a game. I mean, are you going to like custom create your models? Are you going to custom create the trees and the textures and the grass? I mean, I don't want to custom create. I don't think I would really want to custom create the grass. I don't know. It's one of those things, but that's one of the big decisions, and that's one of the things I'm looking at is, I just was talking to ChatGPT and I said, what's like a 10-year development training plan? If we had 10 years to make an MMO, how would we approach it from someone who's never done it? We kind of go through these steps where, and this is of course saying that we were going to use Unreal Engine 5 as our game engine, learn that, this is kind of ChatGPT just came up with some basic guidelines. But I also have, these courses on Udemy because I've bought these a long time ago. So I've always wanted to do this, right? Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Well, I definitely would. But the goal is really to focus on, can AI as it is now do everything? No, AI is not that good. AI is not that good. And I haven't looked at AI in regards to Unreal Engine, for example. Like AI can do a lot of things for sure. Like, ooh, I've never created projects. This is cool. I didn't know you could create projects in ChatGPT. Let's do Unreal. Let's get you. We're going to create a project, and we have our new project. Okay, let's get out of that project. Now let's go ahead and create a new chat. So, for example, like what does ChatGPT? How much does it know about Unreal Engine? So let's ask Chat. Okay, can you explain to me how to, in Unreal Engine 5, create a blueprint for a medieval medieval torch, or no, medieval, like, let's see, medieval brazier to have the flame animated. Let's just see. I'm just curious. What does it know about blueprints, right? So prepare a 3D model, an FBX, right? Or grab one from Quixel Megascans. A fire particle system, you can use Niagara fire system or the starter content. Create a new actor blueprint, right? Choose actor, name it blueprint brazier. And see, so it basically is walking you through the steps. Now, that's great. I mean, that's good, right? That's good. But there's also going to be other stuff like, and I haven't looked at the C++ code in Unreal Engine, but I don't know if I know enough about Unreal Engine to really do that. But let's see, where's the character, lighting. Yeah, I just don't know enough about Unreal Engine yet to really know how to inspect the code of, like, for example, like the character model. Let's go to the content drawer. I'm looking for where are the animations. Functions, move, no. Reverse, this is the character. Right. What is this anyway? Basic character with a controllable orbiting third-person camera. So what I'm looking for is, can we access the actual C++ code on any of these elements is what I'm looking for. We've got movement input, and we have orbiting camera, jump. Let's take a look at this. Right, jump. Reading C++ symbols. Let us go into, it says reading C++ symbols. I don't really know what that means. I mean, it's reading them, but is it going to display? I was wondering if we could edit this in code. Yeah, I don't know. I need to learn more about that part of it. But settings. I want to see the actual code. And we've got a blueprint debugger. Interesting. Anyways, so but what I'm trying to get at is ChatGPT is really good. It can do a lot. It can't do everything. The way to use like AI currently, at least because I use AI pretty much every day, the way to use AI currently is you basically use AI to kind of help you do like kind of rudimentary tasks that are just time consuming. Like if I have to write like a bunch of pieces of code over and over again by hand, but it's just repetitive type stuff, ChatGPT can do it much quicker. But it can definitely help you too with complex stuff. And also ChatGPT can also point you. It's a lot of it. ChatGPT is like it points you in the right direction. So if you're like trying to do something but you're not quite sure how to do it, you can ask ChatGPT. You can give it an explanation of this is what I'm trying to do in code, but I'm having trouble coming up with the best solution. ChatGPT can give you examples of different ways to approach the problem, and so that sometimes can be extremely helpful. But you never want to rely on ChatGPT for like 100% complete full code because it makes a lot of mistakes, to be honest. It's actually really, it makes a lot of mistakes. It's not foolproof. But if I wanted to do something simple, like I said, I just want to like, create like a please, create me a switch statement, right? In C# based on a parameter, based on an enumeration of dragons of a EF model dragon. The enumeration contains characteristics of the dragon. I want the switch statement to break on dragon dot color. For example, if the dragon is red, we break into the switch statement red and do some code. Colors of the dragons are red, blue, green, black, bronze. So I gave it some pretty good directions on how to create a switch statement in C# that's basically just going to break on an enumeration of dragon colors. This is the enumeration, and it's based off of my entity framework model called dragon. Okay, and inside of my dragon, I have a dragon color. Dragon color is the enumeration. And then in my switch statement, I'm going to basically break on the, I'm going to pass in a dragon model, which is my class here. And then I'm going to break on the dragon color because I may want to do certain things, right? So this is where ChatGPT is really useful because I could have written all this by hand, but I might have made a syntactical mistake while I was typing. But the biggest thing that ChatGPT does is it can create it quickly. Like it would have taken me it would have taken me longer to type this up, you know, than what it took me just to type this out here. And I didn't even have to give ChatGPT this much information. I could have just said, write me a switch statement in C# for a dragon based on dragon colors, and there's 5 colors or something, and it probably could have just whipped this up or something similar. So, you know, it can be very helpful for sure. But going back to what I want to, I'm trying to figure out what do I want to learn first. You know, what pieces of you know, when we approach learning Unreal Engine 5, we have to like figure out, you know, the most important thing obviously is just going to be learning the basics, the basic the blueprint, you know, the blueprint, the scripting obviously, but basically the UI, learn the Unreal Engine editor basics. And some of that you can actually learn just by kind of getting in the engine and kind of moving around, see where things exist. I mean, I have done stuff with game engines before, so I have a little bit of experience, but so you can just kind of play around in the editor and get kind of a feel for how the engine's working. We've got display a list of level sequence objects. I mean, you just have to go through here and see what are all the stuff. Select all. Okay, the draw surfaces, emitters, lights. This is just select. Your component drawer is going to show things that exist within your scene, mostly. And you've got your characters in the scene. And you've got your animations, right? Anims. So here's some of your animations. You've got like, here's your death, your frontal death animation. Can we pin the drawer here so it doesn't toggle lock the browser or ignore it? How do we pin this dock in layout? There we go. And here you can go in here and you can tweak. We could probably tweak these animations. I'm not sure how to do that, but I'm sure we could. And then if we wanted to add or import content, we could import to current folder. And what I would like to know is how can we have access to Megascans? But we'll get into that. We'll go through the courses. We'll learn all this stuff. Okay, don't save. But I'm going to go to bed because it's super late and I'm super tired. But I am going to start basically probably going through, I'm probably going to start doing live streams of basically me going through some tutorials and just, people can watch. If they want to watch me going through the stuff, they can. If they don't have to. But at least you guys will know what I'm doing. You'll know that I'm probably not playing games as much over the next few weeks. Of course, I do plan on playing Project Epoch if it ever releases to a state that's a good state that we can actually get in there and play it. We'll see. But anyways, I'm gonna get to bed, and I will catch you guys later, man.